And greetings, baseball fans. We finally made it. It started with 158. It went to 64, and we're down to the final two. The 2024 perfect game WWBA National Championship match here this afternoon. I should say this morning. I'll tell you, the clock's been running hard on everybody for the last 8 days of baseball competition. It's been a beauty. Perfect game putting on another outstanding tournament in the final two here at the show. The 2025, I should say, ZT Prospects national team going against the MTBA Dogs. These teams have seen each other before, and it's bound to be a good matchup here as we head towards the 11 a.m. hour here at the Met Sports Complex in Birmingham, outside Birmingham and Hoover, Alabama. Should be a good one, folks. We'll get your lineups here coming up. Perry, the pitcher, will start things off, the right-hander for the club. Behind the plate, Trantham will be catching for the club over on the first base side in the 3 spot. Conley Jimene, seen him before, good player over there on the first base side. Over in the 4 spot, Newman, and the 5 spot, Heisler, your shortstop. Hermosura over in the 6 spot, and Lavia Aldridge over in the 7 spot in left field. Center field, Lizot, he'll take care of business out in center. Rounding things out, Megas over on the right side. Your head umpire, it's a 6-man crew. No mistakes allowed on the field today. And we got a good matchup here. Good umpires again. Perfect game, putting the best in the business on the field. Chad Hoffman. Chad will manage the game from behind home plate. Derek down on the first base side. Jonathan at second. Ricky down at third. In left field, Kendrick. And on the right side, Reese. That's your 6-man operation. To start things off for the Prospects here in the championship match, Jordan Leon. He's had a good tournament so far, showing that he's been able to do both on the offensive side and defensive side. A versatile player. He's done some pitching and can move around the field in the interior. We are ready to go. Head coach Bryce from MTBA and head coach Carlos down on the third base side. It's showtime, the championship matchup. Right side, pop up to the right fielder. And 1 pitch, 1 out there. So Leon will have a seat. And stepping in, Blake Barberena. Right fielder. Perry ready to go here. Pitch on the way. And a ball low on the inside part of the plate. The count goes to 1-0. And a 2-0 count to Barberena. Rosenbag on the mound. That'll be available for both pitchers. 2-0 pitch. Inside, ball 3. The count is 3-0. And a strike there. Barberena thought he had it. And Perry able to locate. Gets the call on the outside. The count, it goes to 3-1. Barberena, well hit ball. And the second baseman, a good effort. As Newman laid it out to his right, but not able to glove it up. And Barberena is on board with a single. And Easton O'Quinn will step in for the Prospects. You're enjoying the 2025 WWBA National Championship match between the ZT National Prospects and the MTBA Dogs. So Perry will work from the stretch here with Barberena over on the first base side. So many first baseman holds him on. And a strike outside. Perry opens up the count 0-1 as Carlos Avila down on the third base side communicating to O'Quinn here as he steps back in. The 0-1 pitch. Inside, missing there. The count evens up at 1-1. Throw back over to first. And Barberena gets back in plenty of time there. Coach Trey, first base coach for the Prospects. As Perry locks on and O'Quinn steps in, we're ready to go here. Runner on the move. Throw down, a high throw, good throw down, and safe at second is Barberena. Coming out of the pop, Trantham fires down to second, but Barberena with a good jump ends up 90 feet, and the count is 1-2. Time is called in the box, granted. O'Quinn will step out. Best two teams standing here after a long road to get here. It's been an outstanding tournament. And a slow roller. Third baseman's going to have to charge there and down the line. And that ball, an overthrow into the dugout, and rounding is Blake Barberena. The Prospects will strike first, and Barberena comes home with O'Quinn ending up at second. It looked like a routine out. And the Prospects will come with Barberena and one over. A one out for Carter Nash. Nash will step in here. Perry stays working in the stretch. Takes a look at second. Defense, second baseman shuffling around a bit. He'll range back up. Carter Nash, right side, foul. Good idea going opposite field there for Nash. Down the first base line, but pulls it foul. Count is 0-1. Carter Nash looking for a knock here with O'Quinn in scoring position. Perry goes low and out, and the count evens up at 1-1. And the count goes to 2-1. So Nash takes a cut, slices it foul. And strike three called at the plate. Carter Nash gets caught looking. And Perry will get the K. Victoria will step in with 2 outs. So Victoria looks at a pitch up. The count is 1-0. Shortstop Hermasur in the back pocket of O'Quinn. And he rolls off. Pitch on the way. Strike there. Victoria takes a look. The count's even up at 1-1. And a ball to left side. Shallow left fielder making an adjustment. Should be able to pull it in. And they'll leave one on, but the prospects, they strike first. They get one over. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, to start things off for the prospects on the defensive side, Noah Gerolamick, the right-hander. He'll take the hill for the prospects. Catching behind the plate in the tail. Correction, Jimmy Stout catching. Over on first base, Daniel Badar over in the second base position. Jordan Leon over on third, Easton O'Quinn. And a ball at the plate that counts 1-0. Leadoff hitter Hermasura AJ steps in the box. Mentioned Easton O'Quinn at third, Blake Barberena at shortstop, and a strike across the plate. The count goes to 1-1. Left field, Trey Lawrence. Center field, Carter Nash. And rounding things out on the right side is Brody Taylor. So a 2-1 count to Hermasura. Head umpire Chad Hoffman. Ball's popped up. Carter Nash making the adjustment there. He'll pull it in and one down. So Carter Nash picks up the first out here. Hermasura will have a seat. Jason Lizotte will step in. Jason, a lefty, righty-lefty matchup here with one down. Bottom of the first, no score. Championship match. Final two stand out of 158 to start. And a ball out. The count is 1-0. And Gerolamick comes inside. Good adjustment there. And the count goes to 1-1. Swing and a miss outside. Lizotte takes a cut. And the count is 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Gerolamick dials one up and gets the K. Aldridge will step in. Josiah in the three spot looks at a ball. And the count is 1-0. So Josiah steps back in with a 1-0 count. And in the hands there, fouls it off as Gerolamick comes in. And the count evens up at 1-1. A 1-1 count. And a strike outside. So Gerolamick finding his stuff, and the count is 1-2. And a pitch that looked perfect and missed somewhere. And nonetheless, our head umpire, Chad, makes the call, and we go to a 2-2 count. And a play down to the first base side as Josiah Levy-Eldridge gets on board with 2 outs and a single to the right side. Peyton steps in. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the first frame, Bedar holds on Josiah at first. And a strike outside, locating, and Gerolamick will open up with a strike on the 4-hitter. Swing and a miss at the plate. Jimmy Stout got in and out of his glove there, took a second there. And the count is 0-2 with 2 outs. Stout shaking it off there. Chad says, "You're good, buddy." Big man Jimmy Stout. It's a tough job behind the plate. Can be at times as Stout sets up. The 0-2 pitch. Left side cut foul. And the 0-2 count holds here. From the stretch, Gerolamick works. Pitch on the way. And a good glove for Easton O'Quinn. Throw across is in time. 5-3 put out on the books. The MTBA Dogs will leave one on. We're through 1 frame. We'll head to the second. We'll be right back. You're enjoying the 2025 Perfect Game WWBA National Championship here at the Met Sports Complex. Chris Allard with the call. We'll be right back. Well, on a couple warm-up tosses from Perry here, something might have happened. They're going to check on him with the coach, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. Well, we'll bring you back into live action just to kind of give you an update. Perry, when he took the mound here in the top of the second frame, walked out and kind of sat down for a minute, and probably just a little bit of dehydration. These guys have been working hard. They don't have a huge roster, but Perry obviously feeling something. So Perfect Game has their medical training staff that's out here, so make sure that everybody's okay. Perry had a quick visit. They checked him out, took some fluids in and a couple of things there, and he's good at this point in time to go, and I'm sure they'll keep an eye on him as Chad, our head umpire, says, okay guys, let's get back to baseball. Trey Lawrence will step in, no outs, top of the second, 1-0 Prospects. They got one across in the top of the first frame. We're in the second. And Lawrence takes a cut there, fouls it straight back. The count is 0-1. And a ball out. The count evens up at 1-1. Lawrence left side, well hit ball, and that ball will drop in. And Lawrence is on his way to second, a long throw in, and in time. Trey Lawrence rounded first and had to put the gas on in the afterburners. And a good throw in from left field. And Lawrence ends up with a double to open things up here in the top of the second frame. Brody Taylor will step in. Josiah gathered quickly and fired it into second. Lawrence with good speed. Hermosura's in his back pocket with Taylor in the box here, and Prospects of the runner at second. Taylor right side, a hard hit there, but that's going to move the runner over. And a first baseman will handle that. So Minnie takes care of that one. And Taylor will sit, but that'll move Lawrence over to third with one out. So Gerolamick, he's got a man in scoring position. Gerolamick, right side, that's going to be deep. The out will be there, and coming in Trey Lawrence, and that throw be no play at home. So Gerolamick with a sacrifice fly, and run number two. 2 outs and a 2-0 game here, and Daniel Bedar will step in. Time is called. Bedar will step out.
Come on, D. Bagwell, put down. Sawyer. Get in on it, baby. Bagwell.
And the count is 2-0 to Bedar. And a ball low, a 3-0 count to Bedar. And ball 4, Bedard gets on board with a walk. And a 4-pitch walk to Bedard. And Troy is a little mixed up today. He's always on it no matter what. And for some reason or another, something's happening to him. We're not sure. We'll find out and we'll get back to you. Jimmy Stout will step in, and Bedard over on the first base side with 2 outs. Top of the second, 2-0 Prospects championship game. Jimmy Stout right side and foul. And a ball there. The count goes to 1-1. Throw back over to the first base side, and Bedard gets back in time. So Perry steps back on, and Stout ready to go here. The 1-1 pitch. The ball is low. The count goes to 2-1. Stout laying off there, and the count goes to 3-1 to Jimmy Stout. 2 outs for Perry and the MTBA Dogs here. And a 3-1 count to Jimmy Stout. And a strike outside. Stout thought he was on board, and the count goes full at 3-2. Perry ready to deal. The 3-2 pitch. Right side, cut foul. So Bedard back to first base. Stout locked in. Perry ready to go on the 3-2 count again. Right side, right fielder a long way, and no play there. Foul ball, and everybody will come back. Good work from the right fielder on the move quickly as he released, and Mayers, I should say. I was corrected by MC, keeping score for Perfect Game, doing an outstanding job. Keeps things locked in and doing some good work here for Perfect Game. Stout steps back in. Perry one more time, and the 3-2 pitch again. And Stout takes another cut. So the 3-2 battle continues with 2 outs. Bedard, not sure where he's going there. Was that a balk? So I got corrective measure there. A balk was called, so my apologies. Bedard's at second. We're still locked at 3-2. Jimmy Stout, right side. Right fielder should have a routine play there, and that ball's trouble. To the fence line, Bedard will come in, and Jimmy Stout gets into the show. And in with a double and an RBI. So Bedard comes home off of Jimmy Stout's double in the 3-2 battle. And Charlie Blaylock will come in. Blaylock will run for Stout, the catcher, as Charlie steps on to second. Jordan Leon will step in. Second baseman shuffling in, and he'll range back up as Leon looks at a ball. The count is 1-0. Perry working from the stretch. Newman kind of dancing around a little bit over at second. And the ball's pulled foul and out of play. The count evens up at 1-1. Troy's always got a couple of good things to say. We stay locked in with him throughout the course of the broadcast. He's an outstanding golfer from what I understand. I'll try to match. And he is a wasp expert as well. We learned that yesterday, MC, right? Yes, we did. Pitch on the way. And a ball missing out. The count goes to 2-1. Had an opportunity to talk to Troy at length from Southern California originally. Grew up in the San Clemente area. One of the scouts for Perfect Game. As Blaylock takes parked at second. And a 2-1 count with 2 outs here for Perry. Ball's up, fastball. Count goes to 3-1. And Leon laying off there, not chasing. And the prospects taking advantage here. And Blaylock with good speed. And the ball is low, ball 4. So there's a balk called. So Blaylock moves up 90 feet to third, and the count is at 3-1. Infield umpire called the balk, and we're ready to go here. And the ball's cut foul. So Charlie Blaylock in scoring position for the prospects. Leon looking to cash in on him. And the count is at 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Leon fouls off again, stays active. And another 3-2 battle starts to unfold here. Line drive's going to get you a run over. Leon, right side, single and an RBI. So Jordan Leon answers the call. And Charlie Blaylock will come over. So Jordan Leon, a good poke to right center, just outside of the reach of the second baseman. As Newman went up, but that ball was well over his head, hit well for Leon, and he'll pick up an RBI single. And the prospects move out in front 4-0 here. 2 outs, top of the second. Barberena will step in. Blake hitting in the 2 spot, so the prospects back at the top of the order. Barberena, deep ball. Center fielder backing up. That's got some carry to it. A good grab there, but they'll pull it in. But the prospects, they'll move ahead here. We'll head to the bottom of the second frame, 4-0. Your championship matchup, the MTBA Dogs going against the ZT National Prospects here in the 2025 WWBA National Championship event, brought to you by Perfect Game. We'll be right back. Stay with us. So Gerolamic takes his final toss. Stout sends it down to second base, and we'll be ready to go here in the bottom of the second. Prospects leading this championship matchup 4-0. As Perfect Game working with a 6-man crew. And Chad, our head umpire, will put it in play. As MTBA will go 5, 6, 7 hitters. The catcher, Hatham Jackson, will step in. We're ready to go. Gerolamic to deal. Pitch on the way. And he comes inside for a strike. The count is 0-1. Chad puts it back in. And a ball elevated there. The count is 1-1. Comfortable conditions, not sizzling like it has been. It's been very warm. It's not too bad today as ball swung on and cut foul straight back, and the count is 1-2. We're on day number 7. The tournament started last Saturday. It was one a day up until Thursday when bracket play opened up, Thursday and Friday bracket, and here championship Saturday, and another cut at the plate. And as of Thursday, it was 2-2-2 all the way in. A lot of baseball being played. Some outstanding teams, as I mentioned. 158 started. They went to 64 to bracket. Now we're down to the final 2. Right side, Badar vacating. And Gerolamic will roll off the mound. And Jordan Leon to Noah. And they get the out there. And the count is 1-0. So Perry, Sawyer looks at a 2-0 count after getting some fluids on the hill. Backhand grab, Barberena, good work there. Throw across is in time. So 6-3 put out on the books and 2 down. Nolan Gifford hitting in the 7 spot. Nolan comes in as the EH here. Extra hitter, pitch on the way. And cut foul. And the count is 0-1. Chad puts Gerolamic back in. He likes to work quick. That one gets away from him, and the count goes to 1-1. Fastball out, the count goes to 2-1. As soon as Chad puts him in, Gerolamic gets right into his windup and shaking off there, sees what he likes, ready to go. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Gifford takes a cut and evens things up at 2-2 with 2 down. Gerolamic working out there. And Gifford will step back in with the 2-2 count on him. Chad puts him back in. We're ready to go. The 2-2 pitch. Ball low, and the count goes full at 3-2. Gifford takes another cut, fouls it off. Just closing in on the 11:30 a.m. hour. And ball inside, ball 4. So Geralamick loses Gifford down to first base on a walk. And stepping in, Gavin Newman, the second baseman. Gavin working at second for the club and hitting in the 8 spot. Pitch on the way. Ball is out, and the count goes to 1-0. Gifford at first. And a ball missing inside. The count goes to 2-0 for Geralamick. So Barberena comes in. Quick word with Geralamick working from the stretch. Pitch on the way. And a strike there. Gets the low part of the plate. The count goes to 2-1. And the count goes to 3-1. So Geralamick with that inside pitch needs to make some adjustments there as Newman steps back in with a 3-1 count. Ball 4, so back-to-back walks here issued for Geralamick. Coach Eric Ortiz is going to make a visit out to the mound and have a couple of words with Geralamick. Stay with us. 4-0 prospects and MTBA knocking on the door here. Yeah, we're ready to go here as MTBA runners at first and second. And Meyer steps in. Ball's cut to the right. Heisler correction.
Let's go, Chase.
So Heisler takes a cut, fouls it off. And fastball inside, and Geralamick having a little trouble coming in. And the count goes to 1-1. Heisler steps back in. Barberena at second. Shortstop for the prospects. He rolls off. Pitch on the way. And a ball missing there. So the count goes to 2-1. Well hit ball. And Carter Nash, again, demonstrating the range he has in center field. They'll strand 2. We'll head to the third. Stay with us. The prospects leading this one 4-0. We'll be right back. Well, Perry stays on the mound, and starting things off here in the third will be Easton O'Quinn, the prospects leading this one 4-0 in the championship title matchup here between the MTBA Dogs and the ZT National Prospects. So Easton O'Quinn will step in, ready to go here. The prospects will go 3-4-5 in the third frame. And Easton takes a cut, and the count is 0-1. And a ball out, the count evens up at 1-1. A 1-1 pitch. Ball out, the count goes to 2-1. And the sun on the field now. It's certainly heating up as we starting to move towards the noon hour. As Perry ready to deal, and he comes up and in, the count's 3-1. The third out for the prospects, Carter Nash. Had some greyhound-like work, and I'm going to steal that one from Troy from Perfect Game. He's got tremendous range. It's greyhound-type range. And a well-hit ball. That's going to be left fielder will make a grab there. And Troy, good man, as I mentioned, one of the scouts here working the game, and a fly out there. So one down, Carter Nash will step in. Perry gets the first out here in the top of the third. Setting up behind the plate, pitch on the way. Carter Nash, high flyer, center fielder, making the adjustment, should be able to pull it in. And like that, two down. Quick work for Perry with two outs here. And Victoria will step in with the bases empty. And a strike there for Perry. He opens up on Victoria. Strike at the plate. The count is 0-1. And Victoria. And the count goes to 0-2 as Carter Nash right there on the ball pulled right to the dugout side. And Perry here at the 0-2 count working ahead. Victoria takes a cut out of play. The count holds it 0-2. Trantham takes a look over to the dugout to get his call, and he sets up here again. The 0-2 pitch. Victoria, high fly ball. Right fielder backing up, and a 1-2-3 inning. So Perry and MTBA, quick work. We'll head to the bottom of the third. It's 4-0 Prospects. All right, MC, back to live action. We're ready to go here. And Meyer, and I do stand corrected because you called it. It is Myers. And for the folks at home, it is Myers. And I'll take ownership for that because I mispronounced it, and the count goes to 1-1. And Geralamick comes in and misses there, and the count goes to 2-1. And a ball low, 3-1 count. Geralamick works very quick, and it could be affecting his ability to locate here, and he needs to slow down a little bit. The 3-1 pitch. And the count goes full at 3-2. Ball 4, so Geralamick having a little trouble here. He's put a few men on walking here, and Myers will get on board. They'll get back to the top of the order. And Hermosura will step in. So Geralamick will step on here, working from the stretch, with Myers over at first. Bedard holds him on. Hermosura at the plate. Strike there. And the count is 0-1. So Hermosura laying off there, and the count goes to 1-1. And Geralamick will step off. Baseball on the field. Coach Ronnie pulls that in, and that was, I guess, coming from the bullpen. Boy, and it's coming from all angles right now. I'm getting bombarded. It's all good, though. Pitch on the way. And a ball's chopped foul. Everyone heard Harry Carey was in the house somewhere.
Hey, how you doing, Chris? Good to see you. We're live. Harry shows up.
Hey, sorry, Harry. I just appreciate you
What's up?
having a good time here. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day, is these two great teams made it this far. Hermosura fouls off, and another foul at the plate. The count holds at a ball and 2 strikes, and Myers over at first base, as Hermosura will step back in. Prospects leading this one 4-0, bottom of the 3rd frame. No time limit, and that ball is up. The count goes to 2-2. We'll play 7 innings. Complete the game. And Hermosura, high fly ball. Trey Lawrence. And Easton O'Quinn with a backhand grab over his shoulder. Are you kidding me? That's a highlight reel right there for Easton O'Quinn. It looked like Lawrence was on the move from left, but O'Quinn rolled off a third. What a great grab there for Easton O'Quinn. So 1 out. And Lizotte will step in. Ball's chopped foul at the plate as Jason takes a cut there, and the count is 0-1. Jimmy Stout keeps it out front, and a ball at the plate. The count goes to 1-1. So Geralamick throw back over, and a little catch with Badar over on the first base side. And Myers will come back. A 1-1 count, 1 out, bottom of the third. They go 1 there, and 2. Well executed. Starts with Leon, and they turn over the double play. They leave 1 on. We'll head to the 4th. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So Trey Lawrence steps in. Perry stays on the hill for MTBA. We're in the 4th. And a cut there at the plate. The count is 0-1. And a 1-1 count. And a ball just missing up. The count goes to 2-1. And another cut at the plate, and that gets through, and a 2-2 count to Trey Lawrence. Lawrence down the third base side, foul. Ricky, the third base umpire, just moving away from that one. Backing him up. Kendrick in left field. Working the left field side. Reese on the right side with the 6-man crew. And the count goes full at 3-2. Trey Lawrence deep to the left side and out of play. And ball 4. Perry loses Trey Lawrence down to first base, and a walk there with no outs, and Brody Taylor will step in. A slow walk out to the mound from the head coach as Bryce heads out. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So a quick visit from the head coach and the crew on the mound as Sawyer Perry stays on the hill for MTBA. Trey Lawrence over at first on a walk, and Brody Taylor steps in. Top of the 4th, no outs. And suddenly the dugout will move back in behind the fence as the ball's pulled foul right there. A couple of guys standing at the door just to come out. And the count is 0-1. And the ball goes foul. Good idea for Brody Taylor. Pops it up, it spins foul out of play, and he'll come back. And the count is 0-2. So Trantham, catcher behind the plate, working with Perry here as hands off the bat to Brody Taylor. And Taylor will step in. Taylor on the move, pulled foul, and Crooks and Trey on the move, and Brody pulls the trigger foul. The 0-2 count stays here. So Lawrence comes back. And Trantham wants to have a visit, and not sure what's going on, but this might be it. This is going to be it for Sawyer Perry. And did a nice job for the club to get to this point and gave it his all as he put it all out there today. And a pitching change coming up. So Sawyer Perry will walk off the hill and doing some good work for the MTA Dogs, and a well-deserved shout out to Sawyer Perry, the right-hander. So he's finished for the tournament and taking over here on the mound. We'll get you the name of that pitcher and some warm-up tosses here. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So A.J. Hermasura will take over. He'll get us warm-up tosses. We'll continue here in the top of the 4th. 4-0 Prospects with a runner on in Trey Lawrence. The count is 0-2. Well, Brody Taylor will step in. The count is 0-2 to Taylor as Perry stepped off and Hermosura will step in. Trey Lawrence at first, no outs. We're in the fourth frame. The 0-2 pitch. Brody Taylor, high fly ball. Right fielder should have a routine grab there coming in, and he'll pull it in. And over on the right side, Myers takes care of that one. And one out as Noah Gerolamick will step in. Trey Lawrence parked at first. Hermosura takes a look. And a ball out. The count is 1-0. And a ball up, a 2-0 count to Noah Gerolamick as he looks down to his head coach, Carlos Avila, down on the third base side. And Hermosura here at a 2-0 count to Gerolamick. Trey Lawrence still over at first with one out in the fourth. And that ball, and a back pick there, and safe, getting back in. That was an elevated move. Trantham came out of the pop quickly, and a 3-0 count, but Trantham elevated, came out of the pop and fired down to first base, and luckily Lawrence got back in time. Hayton with a good tag on, and a 3-0 pitch, ball four. So Gerolamick gets on board with a walk, and runners at first and second. They'll run for Gerolamick, courtesy runner in Charlie Blaylock. Blaylock will take the bags there, wearing number 20 for the club. And Bedard will step in. Righty-lefty matchup. And a ball low, the count is 1-0. So Nolan Gifford at shortstop now with Hermosura on the mound, and Trantham wants to go out and have a word. And some shuffling of the deck here. There's some movement in left field, which tells me they're going to be warming up another pitcher. So Perry comes in and goes out in left field. And Bedard looks at a strike there. And the count goes to 1-1. On deck, Jimmy Stout. Blaylock at first. Time is called in the box. Chad, our head umpire, grants it, and Bedard will step out. Lawrence at second, shuffling around, and Bedard holds off there, and the count goes to 2-1. High noon here at Met Sports Complex. Some clouds moving around, keeping it comfortable for the championship matchup. Bedard right side into the gap, and the right fielder coming a long way, makes the play there, and everybody will stay checked up on the bases. So Bedard flies out to Myers in right, and 2 outs on the books for Jimmy Stout. Stout will step in, and Hermosura comes on board and picks up the second out. As I mentioned, Perry owns the runners. And Stout will step in. 2 down, top of the 4th, 4-0 Prospects, a title match, the 2025 Perfect Game WWBA National Championship. Pitch on the way. Off. Coming up short there, the count is 1-0. Trantham throwing down to first base. Down to Hayton. And the count is 2-0 to Jimmy Stout. He's got Lawrence at second. Trying to add on here in the 4th. It's 4-0 Prospects. 2 outs. Jimmy Stout back up the middle. And safe at second. And the infield umpire makes the call there. And on the infield, time is called. Coach wants to have a conversation there before we score it, but a safe call being on it right over the top of the play there. So they'll bring in the crew and a quick conference out at the mound as everybody will come in, and Kendrick's even going to get in on the act. So Kendrick wants a piece of the action too in a 6-man crew here. I mean, this is something special. You think New York's got issues, check these guys out. So everybody's in charge. The crew chief took off. I think he went for lunch somewhere. But a good call nonetheless. Gentlemen just consulting here to make sure everything is accurate and correct. And the safe call will hold. So a 6-man crew, all in agreement. Kendrick's going to find his way back out to left field. And Jordan Leon steps in. And Hermosura opens up with a strike. Leon not going after it. And AJ finds the outside part of the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Lawrence in scoring position for Jordan Leon. And Leon, a big cut at the plate. And the count goes to 0-2 for Hermosura. Leon just looking for a knock here. Line drives are your friends. And the base is loaded. Ball up, the count goes to 1-2. Leon swinging a miss, strike 3. Hermosura comes in. The Prospects could not cash in with the bases loaded. And Hermosura helps out his teammate, Sawyer Perry. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, 4-0 Prospects, leading this one in the 2025 WWBA National Championship. Chris Aller with a call. I'll be right back. Well, bringing you back into live action. We're ready to go here. As Josiah will step in. They go 3-4-5 here, and Geralamick opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. Prospects not able to cash in on the top of the frame with the bases loaded. And Geralamick, third base side, a good hop there in the glove of Easton O'Quinn, and he'll take care of business there for the first out. 5-3 put out. And Easton O'Quinn takes care of that. So 1 out. Peyton will step in. Peyton ready to go here. 4 spot, swing and a miss at the plate. Big cut there. And the count is 0-1. Conley Samini, pitch on the way. And back to back, a big cut for Pete. And the count is 0-2. And a ball out, the count goes to 1-2. So Geralamick, the 1-2 pitch. Right back to Geralamick, rolls off the mound there, and a toss over to Bedar, and 2 outs. 1-3 on the books, and 2 down. And MC called a little PFP action there. Good call for MC, keeping score and in check here. She's done a fine job for Perfect Game the entire tournament. And a pleasure working with her. So ball cut foul, the count's 0-1. Trantham looks at a ball, and the count goes to 1-1. Time is called, it's granted in the box. Trantham steps back in. The 1-1 pitch. Off of first base. Badar's going to have to get there quickly, and Bedar pulls it in. So Bedar rolling off of first base. They go 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. We'll head to the 5th. So Bedar pulls it in, and the prospects will get on the offensive side here. And we'll be ready to go here in the 5th. 4-0 prospects. We're in the show, the title matchup, the 2025 Perfect Game WWBA National Championship event here at the Met Sports Complex. If you've been following us, we'd like to thank you for watching the games throughout the course of the tournament. We started a week ago Saturday and closing things out here today as the best 2 are remaining here in the championship matchup. Hermasura will take a couple warm-up tosses. We'll be ready to go. Well, Hermosura ready to go here. Barberena will step in for the Prospects here. We're in the 5th. Barberena, big cut there. The count is 0-1. Prospects in Barberena, they'll go 2-3-4 here in the 5th frame. And Hermosura goes out. The count goes to 1-1. And the count is 2-1. And Barberena takes a cut, and the count evens up at 2-2. And Barberena, another cut there, was able to foul it off. And he'll stay locked in at a 2-2 count. Barberena, well hit ball, a good grab backhand from the second baseman, and a good defensive play over at second. Gavin Newman. He'll pick up the first out for MTBA. And Easton O'Quinn will step in. And O'Quinn takes a cut, fouls it off. And a baseball here on the field. Where that came from. Up on the net, and I guess rolled back. And Hermosura here at an 0-1 count on O'Quinn. Strike there, and the count is 0-2. And netting brought to you by McClanahan's. Got the color commentary behind me, and Troy always coming up with some good ones as O'Quinn pulls it foul to the left side. So Hermosura, 0-2, working ahead on O'Quinn, looking to get something going here in the 5th frame for the Prospects. MTBA looking for short work. As Hermosura goes here, the ball is low, the count goes to 1-2. Game number 11 for both of these teams. And a well-hit ball, Easton O'Quinn. And his bat wakes up at the right time for the Prospects. And a solid rip there for O'Quinn, and on board with a single. Cotter Nash will step in with one out. One down, says Chad Hoffman, our head umpire, doing a fine job working with his crew today. A 6-man crew. Hermosura to deal. Pulled back, and the count is 1-0. And well hit ball in the 5-6 hole, and Cotter Nash, he keeps the production line moving here with one out and finds himself on board with a single, and Victoria will step in. And Nash continuing to mash. All these one-liners, I know I'm going to have to pay extra to Troy before this tournament's over. He'll bill me, I'm sure, but... And now I'm hearing no royalties are required. He's a good gentleman here, working for PG and doing some great scouting work, and everybody else behind the scenes doing a fine job. As Victorio steps in with one out, runners at first and second, Hermosura takes a look. Pitch on the way, and well hit ball into the gap. And Victorio finds himself on board. And safe at home, and Easton O'Quinn will come across, and Mateo Monster Victorio answers the call. And on board with a single and an RBI, the Prospects get their 5th, and runners at the corners with 1 out. Trantham setting the defense here with Carter Nash over on the third base side and Trey Lawrence stepping in. Runners at the corners. Victoria with a good piece of hitting there, and Lawrence steps in. And a strike there. He was ready to pull the trigger and laid off. And the count is 0-1. And Charlie Blaylock's going to come in and run for Victoria. And Blaylock will step onto first base, ready to go. For Masura, an 0-1 count on Lawrence. Runner goes. Ball swung on. And fouled off. Hermasura working ahead here in the count at 0-2 on Lawrence. Carter Nash down on the third base side. Runner goes. They'll go one there, and that's trouble. And safe at second, and down the line is Trey Lawrence, and Nash will come in from third. So the Prospects put their 6th over here in the top of the 5th frame. Brody Taylor will step in with Lawrence at first and Blaylock at second. And a ball low, the count is 1-0. Taylor takes a chop and fouled it off there. And hacking away there at a low pitch. And the count goes to 1-1. 1 out, 5th frame. 2 over here. Prospects leading this one 6-0. And the count goes to 2-1, says Chad Hoffman, our head umpire today. All these umpires, shout out to them, working hard throughout the entire tournament. These guys out in the heat, keeping things in check, keeping people in check as well, which is a strike there at the plate, 2-2, which is sometimes not the best part of the job, but nonetheless, they do fine work keeping everybody under control. Sometimes it gets out of control, and then the directors will step in. The 2-2 count. Taylor lays off. The count goes full at 3-2. Sunshine piercing through. High clouds kind of floating around. They'll drop in periodically. Shade things up, and ball 4. Brody Taylor gets on with a walk. 90 feet down to first. Blaylock moves over to third. Lawrence at second. The bases are juiced. And Noah Gerolamick will come in. So Coach Bryce heading out to the mound, and that might be it for Hermasura. And some defensive adjustments here And that's going to do it for Hermosura. So Hermosura will head back to short, but doing what he needed to do, put his best foot forward and trying to do his thing. And now they'll bring in number 15, Josiah Lavia Aldridge. So Josiah will get some warm-up tosses, taking the ball from coach. We'll be ready to go here. We're in the top of the fifth, one out, bases loaded. Stay with us. Well, we're ready to go here. Gerolamic will step in. Bases juiced, one out. Fastball up and in. Gerolamic gets away from that one, and the count is 1-0. Taylor, Lawrence, Blaylock, all stations occupied with one down. And again, Noah taking a look at the pitcher like, what's going on here? And I don't think that was a pleasant look. I can promise you that. And the count is 2-0. Same pitch. Count is 3-0. I think Josiah just trying to get himself settled in here. 3-0 pitch. Same location, ball 4. He'll walk one in, and Hermosura will own the run. So they pick up their 7th. Josiah just trying to settle in, getting his rhythm, and needs to just make a little adjustment. And Mason Moeller, number 3, Moeller will run for Gerolamic pitching for the club. And Bedard will step in. Josiah, righty-lefty matchup for him. Josiah steps off. And a strike outside. Josiah opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1.
75.
From the stretch. Pitch on the way. Good stop for Trantham behind the plate, and the count goes to 1-1. So Josiah, left fielder for the club, taken over here with Hermosura after Perry stepped off. And pitch on the way. Ball just elevated a bit there. The count goes to 2-1. So Bedard will step back in. Josiah looking for an out. Prospects looking for a knock. And a strike there. So Josiah makes the adjustment and evens things up. The count goes to 2-2.
Go in it, Saya. Approach. 2 strike.
Time is called. Bedar steps out. And Josiah will step off. Bases loaded, top of the fifth, 7-0 prospects. Brought 3 over here in the top of the frame. Josiah ready to go. The 2-2 pitch. Ball missing just out. The count goes to 3-2.
Come on, clutch. Come on, helicopter time. Let's go. Number 2. Bagwell. Let's go.
Time called. Bedar steps out and Josiah will step off again.
Take your time, Buckaroo. Let's go. Come on.
So the 3-2 count here. Ball 4. So that gets away from Josiah. And Hermasura will own the run in Trey Lawrence. As Bedar gets on board with a walk. And the prospects will bring over their 8th run. So shuffling, Perry will head back out to left field as they'll make an adjustment here. They went to Perry first on the hill, to Hermasura, and now to Josiah, and Jimmy Stout will face him for the first time. The bases remain loaded. 1 out. And a strike there. Back pick attempt. Bedar gets back to first. Count is 0-1. Josiah resets. Stout steps in. And Trantham with a good stop behind the plate. And the count is 1-1. So another visit here. Coach coming in and quick word with Josiah as the bullpen is active over on MTBA dog side of the field. As we are here in the 5th frame and you're enjoying the 2025 WWBA 14U Majors Division Championship game. And the national championship title here on the line. The prospects here in the 5th frame with the bases loaded, leading 8-0. They brought 4 over and 1 out with a 1-1 count. And the count goes to 2-1. And Jimmy Stout right between the wings there, and that gets away from Josiah. And Brody Taylor will come over and hit by pitch, and they pick up their 9th there. 5 runs over here in the top of the 5th, and Coach Bryce out to the mound. A pitching change coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So we're ready to go here. So Gifford takes over on the hill, and Jordan Leon steps in with the bases remain loaded. Henry Kuhnsteller running over on the first base side for the Prospects. And a ball out, the count's 1-0. So Nolan Gifford started as the extra hitter, now ends up on the mound. And the count is strike at the plate, 1-1 count. So Leon steps back in. Kuhnsteller at first, Bedar at second, Mason Moeller at third. And a ball cut foul. The count goes to 1-2. Jordan Leon down the third baseline, foul. So Nolan with a 1-2 count on Jordan Leon with one out, Barberena on deck. And everybody stays put. And the count goes even to 2-2. Right side. And Leon will get the RBI as Moeller will come across. And 2 outs as Moeller comes across in the 10th run here in the 5th. MTBA will get the bottom of the frame. And Barberena takes a cut, fouls it off. The count is 0-1 with 2 outs. Bedar parked at third, Kuhnsteller at second. And the ball is low. The count evens up at 1-1. And Nolan comes inside, and the count is 2-1. And Gifford goes low, and the count goes to 3-1. Barberena staying patient with the 3-1 count and 2 outs. Prospects with runners at second and third. They brought 6 across here in the top of the 5th frame. And ball 4, so Barberena will get a freebie down to first base, and Easton O'Quinn will step in. Well, the Prospects getting back to the top. You know, Quinn steps in the 2 spot, Crexton in the 3 spot. So Quinn steps in, takes a cut, fouls it off. And a strike outside, so Gifford works ahead with an 0-2 count on Easton O'Quinn with the bases loaded here. And Nolan comes inside for a ball. The count goes to 1-2. So coming out, Trantham comes out of the pop quickly. Ball caroms off his equipment up the third base side. Bedar stays put, and the count goes to 2-2. And a 3-2 count to Easton O'Quinn. O'Quinn, third base side. Easy play there for the third baseman. The prospects, they bring 6 across in the fifth. We'll go to the bottom of the frame. Stay with us. We'll be right back. As we're in the bottom of the fifth, Gerolimic stays on the hill. And a ball is low as Perry looks at ball one. The count is 1-0. 6, 7, 8 hitters. Swing and a miss there at the plate. The count evens up at 1-1. And the count goes to 2-1. Gerolimic, strike outside, locates there. And the count goes to 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Drop three there. Jimmy, what cleared? He's got to get it down quickly. And Perry took off. And Stout takes care of business there on the drop three. One out on the books. And Kaysen Click will step in with one out. And the count is 1-0. Swing and a miss at the plate there. And the count goes to 1-1. And Gerolimic, good looking pitch there, just missing on the inside part of the plate. And the count goes to 2-1. Slow roller's gonna have to be quick. In time. And a 5-3 put out. Easton O'Quinn had to charge that one. And two down. Gavin Newman will step in with 2 outs. Ball's up and in. The count is 1-0. And a good deflection for Manavong off a short. And Charlie Blaylock had him backed up at second. And on board with a single, but that could have ended up being a double. And they hold it to a single. And Hessler will step in. Counts 1-0. And a good pitch. Girolamo gets the outside part of the plate called, and the count is 1-1. Right side, shallow. Charlie Blaylock will pull it in. And the Prospects are your national champions of the 2025 WWBA National Championship Tournament. What an event it's been. 158 teams came in, 64 made it to bracket. And this thing is closed out as the Prospects take the title here in the WWBA. What a great finish as well for the MTBA Dogs. That club fights. They are a tough club, and when you run out of pitching, it's difficult to go all the way, but they did a fine job. So nothing to be ashamed of, the MTBA Dogs. They make it to the show. They just came up a bit short here. The Prospects, they do it with a run rule here in the bottom of the fifth. It's been a great tournament for both of these clubs. As I said, 158 teams and 2 of the best in the nation. They're standing here in the show. They'll shake hands. That's really what it's all about. And that's sportsmanship. And at the end of the day, seeing 2 great organizations, the players shaking hands, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Perry did a fine job. Hermasura did his best. Nolan came in. Everybody did what they could. But this is a scrappy team, the MTBA Dogs. They'll be here again. For the ZT National team, Chris Allard with the call. It's been a fine tournament and an outstanding week of baseball. We started last Saturday. And now we finish off here in Championship Day. For everybody behind the scenes, perfect game, the directors, all the scorekeepers, and everybody doing their work day in and day out. And the umpires, all the work in this intense heat, thank you again. Another outstanding event put in the books. This time, the Prospects, they take the national championship title here. And Noah Girolamo, he goes the distance for the club. Blaine, the director, will make his calls and congratulate all the players and call things out here. But for now, we're going to say so long from the Met Sports Complex. It's been a phenomenal week of baseball. Chris Allard signing off. For MC, doing great work behind the scenes, and everybody else, we'll say thank you for joining us. The 2025 National Champions, your ZT Prospects.